Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. So, hi, how's it going? I have to cleaning out my closet. I have to do that. And I see my daughter's been in my room going through my things, so that's cool. I hope I didn't just show off my butt cheeks, because that'll ruin the whole video. Anyway, probably did. Anyway, I was going for a, sophisticated modern look. I've had a pretty good day, and in spite of my kids teething, and their dad is sick, so he's just like losing his mind and expecting me to be emotionally supportive of him as always. I've always got a lot going on, but I had some matcha. This is my second cup, and while I might feel very tired physically, I have a lot of mental energy, which is helpful. I have like 5 loads of laundry to get to, so let's focus on the good stuff. I lost 2 pounds. Go me. It's crazy. You just don't eat when you're overweight. That's all it takes. You can have like a little, a singular cracker, a singular Cheeto. You can have lots of water. You can have some matcha. I drink a lot of high-fat milk. Whipping cream, heavy whipping cream, and half and crap like that. And I still managed to lose weight. So yeah, just want to put that out there. I am getting better at talking about myself. Other people just like blab, and I'm like, oh god, it's hard for me to come up with things to share with other people that doesn't feel like I'm in therapy. What other good things do I have to try to talk about? I live in a part of the country where there's like a lot of very heavy people, and I think it's really tough for them when you're heavy yourself to tell your kid to like have healthy eating habits, because you don't. So it really just starts with parents looking at themselves and realizing like, oh wow, I wear like a 4 extra large. Perhaps it's time for me to go on a diet myself. It doesn't make someone toxic for noticing that like people have gotten really fucking fat. It's not like people have gotten much taller. In some parts of the country, people have on the West Coast, most people are pretty tall there, but they're not like really wide. And it's hard for me to be sympathetic, because you don't feed your kids 4,000 calories a day all the time, unless they're going through a growth spurt and you're like, oh, their jeans are getting shorter, okay, let's get you a little bit more food and finish this growth spurt. At least that's how people on the West Coast were. On the South, people feed their kids like crazy stuff all the time, assuming they're like going to keep growing, and again, they will keep growing, just not that. So yep, I just got everyone out of the bath, and I gave them a snack, and I'm about to get some kind of a dinner started. Their schedule's all over the place just because they're teething, and I'm kind of just going along for the ride. I have so much laundry to catch up on. I have to clean out my closet, as I mentioned previously. I have to get myself into a dentist's office. I just went and paid $1,000 to get into a dentist here in town, and they insisted on doing a deep cleaning, and I said, okay, I'd rather wait and do that later. And they keep trying to insist, no, we need to do it now. And I don't know if you know this, but as the patient, you have the ultimate say. So if you say, you know what, I actually don't want to do that right away, I'd rather talk about that again later, they can't like force you to do anything. So it's always a very big red flag for me when a doctor or a dentist or whoever tries to just like force something, because it's not how that relationship works. A doctor can't make you do anything. They just can't. They can make a suggestion, but you as a patient have the ultimate say. So it's very disconcerting to see how differently dentists are than regular doctors. And it just makes me think, you know what? I think it's time that we stop allowing doctors who fail their medical school exams to become dentists, because they're just like looking for like cheat codes and workarounds, and they're not actually trying to like help their patients. They're just trying to make as much money as they can. And I quit smoking fairly recently, about like 6 months ago. So I have some slight gum recession on a couple of my teeth. I think about 4 of my teeth, and I've been treating it with lidocaine, and it's been working. So I don't know if you can really see. It's these 2 teeth right here, and I just put lidocaine on at night and anytime throughout the day, and it has been stimulating the gums and causing them to fill back in. And it takes a long time. Like I said, I've been working on it for about 6 months now, and I used this as my test because I haven't really put it on this side at all. I was like, okay, just do the left side, see if it works. And funnily enough, it has. So I'm like, okay, great. I got time. I can slowly work on this. It's a lot cheaper than paying $900 and having them, you know, fiddle fart in my mouth, because it's very painful. And most of the people that I know that have had it done, that something rips, something bad happens, and then they need to end up going to an oral surgeon. So I've heard this story before, and I'm like, oh, you're not doing that shit to me. Nice try, Aspen Dental. But no, we're not playing that. And I get it, like, a lot of those are, like, franchised out by individuals and not necessarily operated by the main company. And I'm really happy I found this place, because I don't want them preying on poor people. There seems to be, like, a business model here in the South that poor people can be preyed on to make money. And on the West Coast, there is no such model that exists. It's a lot more expensive to live in the West Coast, so even poor people there are rich by East Coast standards, if that makes sense. So there's a much higher quality of care. There's more of a fear of getting sued. There's more of a fear of somebody being related or knowing somebody that employs you. So you're like trying to avoid doing anything that will get you called into the office or fired. And people here assume because you're not from here that they can just like, hey, all right, let's do this. And this is easily like the 50th dentist that I've gone to, and I'm not exaggerating. I've been to see a lot of dentists, and most of them I didn't like right away. When I've had the same dentist since I was a little kid. I love that guy. I love him. He's great. I can trust him. If I call him with any problem, he'll take the time. He'll talk to me about it. He'll help me figure out a solution. And he doesn't bullshit me, because he has a lot of customers. He's a very reputable guy. He doesn't need to do shysty things to make money. There are so many dentists here that instead of them just like trying to gain clientele person by person and doing a good job, they're thinking, I can like botch them and send them off to my friend, who then will kick me down some money for the referral, wink wink, and then I'll just keep making money off of doing dentures for these fucking drug addicts, and not have to do any dental care at all. And to me, that seems to be like the strategy here, and I don't like that. Just saying. So yeah, it's been very frustrating and difficult to even find one good dentist, and I think so far I have found one, maybe two, but it has taken an enormous amount of effort to do that, and a lot of time. I've been trying to find a dentist since I was pregnant with the twins. I had to put a pause on it because they won't do x-rays on you when you're pregnant. So that's what I figured out. That's the only way you can get them to stop trying to do x-rays on you every time you go in. You just have to say, I'm pregnant, and they legally can't make you get another x-ray. Because every dentist that I go to, they're like, oh, we need to do x-rays again. No, you don't. No, you don't. Uh, so yeah, that's my gripe as of lately. I have a great doctor here. That's probably my favorite thing of living in the South, is that it's like very much established. Everything is like all in one area. You don't really have to drive far unless like you have like some weird insurance. Oh, and I also just got insurance for myself, so that's cool. I think I talked about that in a previous video, so I've been like super hyped about that. It's way cheaper than I thought. It covers a lot more than I thought, and I have a lot of dental bills, so I'm thinking maybe I can get 2 insurance plans, and then I can use both of them, because I've heard of people doing that. I don't know if like I should advertise that, but I know if other people like me who have had twins or higher order multiples, and they're in the position of like, oh my god, my teeth are fucked, because I don't know if you know this, when you are pregnant and you are growing babies, your body will pull any nutrients that you're not getting out of your bones. And when you are swelled up as like out to here, your stomach can only hold like so much food at any one time. So the whole time I was pregnant, I basically just like, I chugged milk. I would chug milk until I felt like I was going to throw up. And then I would eat pudding and flaming hot Cheetos, anything that like I could like, it seemed like a large volume of food, but it had high calorie. And, it was like quickly digestible so that the babies could get it right away. Because if I hadn't done that, they would have been like 2-pounders. So I used my brain. I thought ahead. I made smart nutritional choices with the very limited thinking capacity that I had, and I was rewarded with babies that didn't have to go into the NICU and cost me even more money down the line. So overall, this has been a good experience. I'm happy to have learned this stuff. But the end result of me having these healthy babies is that I have teeth that need a lot of work, and I had a lot of dental work done by my family dentist growing up, because I just never really liked brushing and flossing my teeth when I was younger. I always hated it, and that was true when I was a little kid too. I was just like, this sucks, do I have to do it? I'm gonna get another set anyway, it doesn't really matter. And modern dentistry has evolved. I know that there's like teeth regrowing procedures, but it has to regrow from your own existing like stores of calcium, and I'm assuming that's coming from your bones. So as a woman, I'm like, okay, I have to just play my cards right here and get crowns when needed, do implants to maintain my my bone integrity, and go from there. So that's what I've been thinking about and trying to figure out. I think on the one hand it's cool to be able to give back to the people of America, but you have to pay taxes in order to get taxes, and I think that's something that's like really hard for most people to understand. I've been working and paying taxes for a really long time, and in this part of the country there are a lot of people who don't work, and then they try to get on like social benefits or receive social benefits, and they don't read the fine print, and they don't realize, oh shit, I have to pay this money back, and they get a very small amount of money. It's not enough to live on, and so then they're always like bitching and complaining about the government when it is dictated by what you do. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to vent a little bit about that. Got a lot of balls in the air, if you will, a lot of different cool things I'm working on. I just ordered my first ever crock pot, brand new, might I add. Thank you very much. And an air fryer, all with my own hard-earned money. And it feels great. Lately I've been thinking about how when other people buy you things, you're kind of like, I could have done this myself. And I think that's the main problem that I have with liberalism, is that most people have that same little shit-eating attitude, like, well, I could have done this myself. Well, then do it. Don't like try to like skip past the level that you're at and just like, climb higher than where you are. Stay where you are until you can do it yourself. And that's what's so cool about smartphones, is that like when they first came out, you knew who was rich, but then a lot of poor people started getting them because they didn't want the other rich people to think that they were poor. And paying for a smartphone has in effect kept them poor, rather than if they had just kept the $100 a month or however much it costs to get an iPhone back then in their pocket and just like let themselves become rich over time, then they would be in a position to be able to easily afford an iPhone rather than like, this is always a very big tell for me. Some of the brokest people have super nice cars and wear designer clothes. I don't know why that is. And some of the richest people I know drive really shitty cars. And they have nice clothes, but they're not like spending thousands of dollars just on an outfit. Does that make sense? Because when I was younger, I totally thought it was the other way around. If you have a nice car, you must be rich. No, if you have a nice car, chances are you live like in a really little apartment with like 4 other people, and your car is like the only thing that is important to you. Versus if you're a person that actually has substantial wealth, you're going to drive a Beaver, because that was true in Sedona. And this is something my mother told me when I was a young lady. She was like, you gotta try to ignore the people who drive the flashy cars, because they're trying to get attention because they don't actually have anything. They're trying to pick up somebody else who doesn't really have anything. That's like how poor people think rich people are. Because actually rich people just drive regular cars. Toyotas, Hondas, cars that are reliable, dependable, easy to maintain. Because driving a BMW, anytime I see a BMW, I'm like, loser, you're a broke loser. Unless it's like an old man. Anytime I see a young-ish person in a BMW, I'm like, wow. We're trying so hard to look rich and not trying hard to be rich.